Well, gather round folks, because we've got the latest episode of Game Developers Gone Wild in this thrilling installment. The makers of the day before, Fantastic, has decided to call it quits. Cue the dramatic music. Just a week after the gaming community collectively scratched their heads at the day before's suspiciously unique launch, Fantastic has thrown in the towel. In a statement dripping with a sweet scent of financial failure, the studio announced, "Sorry, we are closed." Apparently the game didn't just fail to meet expectation, it failed to pay the bills. Ouch. But hold on, dear gamers, because Fantastic wants you to know they worked tirelessly for 5 years without ever taking a dime from players up front. A round of applause, please. They claim all the cash went to paying off debts, as if the game's development wasn't fueled by unicorn tears and fairy dust. Now here's the real kicker. While they're shutting down shop, Fantastic is also playing the blame game. "We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations," they say. Understatement of the year? Players expected a thrilling zombie survival MMO, and what they got was, well, not that. It's like ordering a pizza and getting a salad. Sure, a salad is nice, but it's not what you signed up for. The day before started as one of Steam's most wish-listed games. Players were salivating at the prospect of diving into this post-apocalyptic extravaganza. However, what they found was a game that seemed to have swapped its epic survival vibe for a buggy, empty extraction shooter. Oh, the disappointment. The roller coaster of letdowns included accusations of exploiting free labor, trailers that looked suspiciously like they were copy-pasted, and a legal dispute that briefly turned the game into a disappearing act on Steam. At this point, players were probably thinking they were part of some bizarre social experiment. But fear not, for Fantastic reassured players just a week ago that they were in it for the long haul. "Together we will continue improving the game and adding content," they said. Well, turns out that was the gaming industry's version of "I promise I will change." So there you have it, the latest chapter in the gaming soap opera. Fantastic tried to give us a day before, but it looks like it became the night after. Rest in pixels, Fantastic. May your next adventure be bug-free and full of players who actually get what they paid for. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your katanas and polish your samurai spirit, because we've got a new game coming to town. It's called Rise of the Ronin, and it's not your average stroll through feudal Japan. No, it's Team Ninja's biggest game to date, and they're not shy about it. So what's the deal with Rise of the Ronin? Well, imagine Ghost of Tsushima and you decided to have a love child, and then Ubisoft decided to sprinkle its open world magic all over it. That's the vibe we're getting. Explosions, fire, a drum beat that will make your heart race, and clashing steel. It's a samurai soap opera, folks, and we're here for it. The trailer. Oh, the trailer. It's emotional, action-packed, and just like any great samurai story, it's got a war with factions causing all sorts of chaos. Historical figures like Ryoma Sakamoto and Shoin Yoshida, I butchered that greatly, make cameos, because who wouldn't want historical figures in their Ubisoft-like open-world samurai adventure? Our Ronin protagonist is running through dark caves, soaring across villages, performing katana takedowns, you know, the usual Tuesday for a masterless samurai. And guess what? Guns. Because nothing says Edo Japan like rapid-firing pistols and matchlock-looking rifles. It's like bringing a katana to a gunfight, but in a good way. But wait, there's more. This isn't just a mindless hack and slash fest. Oh no, it's got a narrative that'll make your choices matter. It's the end of the Tokugawa shogunate, and you, dear player, will be making choices that could align with or rebel against historical icons. It's like a choose your own samurai adventure, and we're living for it. And the best part? It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, because who needs those other consoles anyway, right? But hold on to your wallets, my friends, because it's going to cost you a cool $70. But wait, there's a deluxe edition for an extra $10, because why not throw a digital art book, soundtrack, outfits, weapons, and maybe a samurai shaped cookie cutter? Okay, maybe not the last one, but you get the idea. So mark your calendars, folks. Rise of the Ronin is launching on March 22nd, 2024, and if you're not ready to drop some serious coin, well, you might as well stick to playing with wooden swords in the backyard. This is samurai business after all. Oh, Final Fantasy XVI, the game that didn't quite snag the coveted Game of the Year nomination, leaving some fans in a state of utter disbelief. I mean, how could the universe be so cruel? But fear not, it got nods in other categories at the Game Awards like Best Role-Playing Game, Narrative, Music, and Performance. It's like being nominated the Best Supporting Actor. Not the main event, but hey, it's something. And what's the best consolation prize for not getting the top spot? 2 shiny DLC expansions. The first, Echoes of the Fallen, has a name that sounds like it was generated by a fantasy novel titled generator. It's all about the Maggie Tech war because nothing says epic fantasy like war with a touch of magic. And hold on to your hats, it's already out on PlayStation 5. Who needs a Game of the Year trophy when you can have DLC dropped like confetti? Now let's talk about these expansions. The second one, The Rising Tide, scheduled for spring 2024 Northern Hemisphere, stars none other than Leviathan, the sea serpent that apparently took a vacation during the main campaign. Because what's a Final Fantasy game without a summon that can cause tidal waves and make you question your life choices? Both DLCs promise new allies, monsters to hack and slash, and areas to explore. Frankly, it's like Final Fantasy XVI is hosting its own fantasy themed party, and we are all invited. In case you forgot the plot amid the stunning visuals and soulful characters, Final Fantasy XVI follows Clive Rosefield, a noble turned slave who joins a resistance led by the charismatic Cid. They are on a mission to free the oppressed magical beings called bearers. Intriguing, right? But the narrative left a few mysteries hanging, like the elusive sea serpent Leviathan. Guess what? DLCs to the rescue. Sure, the game was a bit divisive at launch. Some loved the battles, the voice acting and the characters, others weren't too thrilled about the departure from the traditional turn-based battles. But who cares about the differences in taste when you can have DLCs that promise more action, more magic, and probably more things to debate in the gaming community? Final Fantasy XVI, you may not have won Game of the Year, but in the world of DLCs, you're a real champion. Baldur's Gate 3, the game that managed to win both the prestigious Game of the Year and the unofficial Horniest Game of the Year awards. Larian Studios, in their infinite wisdom, decided it was time for Xbox players to join in on the fun, dropping the game on Xbox Series XS like a stealthy ninja during the Game Awards. But let's talk about the journey to the momentous occasion. Larian Studios faced more challenges than a wizard in a dungeon trying to port this Dungeons and Dragons inspired extravaganza onto the Xbox, especially with the Series S, which apparently has the technical prowess of a startled squirrel. Split screen co-op on that thing? Good luck. Despite the hurdles, the team assured everyone on X, yes, it's Twitter, just go with it, that the Xbox version was on track for a December release. And boy, did they deliver. Right after the Game Awards, they served up Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox store like a dish of digital delight. Now, if you've been digitally hibernating, you might have missed the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 has been ruling the gaming internet. In just 4 months since its official launch, after an eternity in early access, 1.3 players have not just played it, but completed it. That's right, they've conquered the digital realm. Oh, and let's not forget that 8,196 years collectively spent in the character creator. I mean, who wouldn't want to perfect their digital persona for a few millennia? Now here's where it gets interesting. 113 million corpses have been chatted up. Who knew corpses were so chatty? And a whopping 84 million fireballs have been thrown around like it's a magical fireworks show. But the real gem? In the game's infamous sex scenes, 66% of players decided that Halsin, the bear transforming druid, should keep his fur on. apparently players were not ready for the full bear experience. But blame them? It's a family game after all. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, a huge patch dropped on November 3rd, bringing permadeath mode. Good luck surviving that. A satisfying epilogue, new recruitment methods because Annihilation is so last season, and of course the piece de resistance, newly implemented dick physics, because nothing says epic fantasy adventure like a bit of, physics. Hats off to you, Larian Studios, for keeping it classy in a world of digital wizardry.